Hello, and welcome to EVG Speaks. I'm your host, ElectricVideoGamer, aka EVG, and today's discussion is going to be about my thoughts on the upcoming E3 2018. Now, for those of you who are new to this space, E3 stands for the Electronics Entertainment Expo, where a bunch of content creators and people involved in media come together and show off their latest and greatest projects. Usually it's gaming related. In fact, publicly, it's gaming related. So, that's the extent of it. Before I get started, I'd like to also stress, if you enjoy this content, be sure to leave a like, and then EVG Speaks could get its own slot to appear on my channel. And of course, if you want to see more, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Okay, so let's get into it. First, my predictions. Let's talk about the major players first. This might take a bit, but let's talk about the major players, being Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft. I will start with Nintendo since they're who I'm most familiar with out of the three. So, what do I think they'll show for Nintendo's E3? Well, what do we know? We know that at Nintendo's E3 they're going to have Super Smash Bros. And Splatoon at the very least, because of the Smash Bros. And Splatoon tournaments. They're also going to have their digital event, like they usually do, that focuses on Smash, that features, I suppose, Smash Bros., as well as the Nintendo Treehouse, which we already knew about, which occurs throughout that day and the next 2 days. So the question is, what will be new? What will they announce? What will they talk about? Well, first things first, I will discuss what I think is coming later on. I firmly believe that this year, at least for the Nintendo Switch, what we know is that we're supposed to be getting Smash Brothers, Yoshi, and Fire Emblem. I believe that there are 2 more slots available. Well, if you want to call them slots, but yeah, there's 2 more spots available for big Nintendo properties. And I think those 2 will go to Pokemon and Animal Crossing. So, with that in mind, I believe that Pokemon will be shown off. Not necessarily at E3, although there will be some semblance of focus on it, but I believe that it'll be announced at a Pokemon Direct like a week or so before E3, because the Pokemon company like to do their own thing. As for Animal Crossing, I believe that will be revealed in their digital event. And I firmly believe that it can still come out this year, even with Smash and Pokemon being a thing, potentially. Now, what else would they show? Well, like I said, Smash Brothers. I think they'll show a trailer, similar more so to Brawl than their typical Smash 4 trailers. Because if this game is coming out this year, they're going to have to be quick with announcing the characters. Which is why I firmly believe that this is a new game. I do firmly believe this is a new game, or at least a new game that's based upon the mechanics that came from Smash for Wii U. So it's just kind of like Mario Tennis Aces to Mario Tennis Ultra Smash. You can tell that the mechanics are there from Ultra Smash, but everything else is so different that it's pretty much a new game. That's the way I see it. That's why I see the Smash Brothers will be to the last Smash Brothers. So, I'll talk about my Smash predictions later on in a different EVG Speaks. But as far as that goes, what else will they talk about? Well, they'll do a full reveal of Fire Emblem. They'll give out some information about Yoshi, including a title and possibly an August release date. Yeah, but they'll provide a full reveal of Fire Emblem as well, and a release window, possibly. There could be a date. There was a date for Mario Odyssey last year, but I don't know. There wasn't a date for Xenoblade 2. So, and I think Fire Emblem will take the Xenoblade 2 spot, more or less. So there's that. There may be a date for Smash Brothers, though. There may be. I don't know. I think we'll get a window first, and then in the Smash Direct later on, we'll get the date. So then, what else could they show? Well, I already mentioned Animal Crossing. I think they'll have a full reveal of Animal Crossing, and they'll have its release window, I suppose, as well as maybe well, no, they won't announce an Animal Crossing Direct, but there will be one before the game comes out. And they said that they're going to focus primarily on things for 2018, and I think they will. I think there will be quite a few third-party games announced as well, possibly in a reel, more so. I'm thinking along the lines of their like quick succession of announcements. Those will all be third-party and DLC related. When they do their quick announcements, I think they'll do that for the event, and that it'll be third-party games, DLC, and then games that are already announced and fairly self-explanatory. Like if they decide to talk about Captain Toad, it'll be there. I don't know why they would. They probably won't. Anywho, beyond that, what would they talk about that's in 2019? Well, 2019 or beyond. Well, they'll definitely talk about Metroid Prime 4. There'll definitely be something about Metroid Prime 4. There has to be. Perhaps a mention somewhere. A lot of people say that the Metroid Prime trilogy will be coming to the Switch soon. I believe that. I genuinely do, but it won't be a big release. It'll be one of those interim releases. And it could come out this year, or it could come out early next year. I don't know. I honestly don't have an accurate prediction for when the Prime trilogy would come out, but I'm sure it will be announced. There were recent trademarks for Wario World. I firmly believe that would be a next year game. I think that they could reveal it here at E3, and I think it would be a game for next year. And then I think they will have one more big reveal, because we already know about Pokemon, we already know about Metroid Prime 4, so they've got to have one more thing to keep us guessing. My guess? F-Zero. I think they will finally drop F-Zero for us. So yeah, reviving the dead franchises. You know how it works. I think they'll finally reveal F-Zero. In the back of my head, I'm thinking they might do Advance Wars too, but I don't want to get too carried away. I feel like I've already gotten fairly carried away. Because throughout the day, they're going to be making announcements too. I predict that at least 1 or 2 3DS games will be announced throughout the days for their Treehouse. I think that the Octo expansion release date will be announced during their Splatoon 2 tournament. And beyond that, I mean, I think that more characters will be announced as the Smash Bros. Tournament goes through, or at the very least, one more character will be announced at the very end of the Smash tournament, because they like to do that kind of stuff. But yeah, the Treehouse, there might be 1 or 2 more little games. There might even be like a little side game announced for the Switch, like, I don't know, like a Dr. Mario or a Mario versus Donkey Kong, or a Pokemon Shuffle or something like that. I don't know. I'm just spitballing. But that could be what we may be looking at. A lot of people say that they might expect Mario Party. I don't know. I think Mario Party is definitely coming. I don't think that's necessarily an E3 announcement. Oh yeah, I mentioned 2D. I didn't mention 2D Mario. I think that'll be shown at E3 as well. 2D Mario. Okay, now I'm pushing the envelope here. So that's the extent of what I think we'll see at Nintendo's booth, Nintendo's presentation. I know they talked about, I know I said third-party games. Which ones? I don't know. I firmly believe that we will at least get some mention of Fortnite at the very least, because people have been asking for it. They've been talking about it a little bit at Epic, so yeah, I think we will get Fortnite on the Switch eventually, and I think it will be talked about at E3, much like how Rocket League was the big reveal for the Switch last year. Fortnite will be the big reveal for the Switch this year. Okay. And beyond that, I mean, Dragon Ball FighterZ is possible reveal, I mean. I don't think we'll get Final Fantasy 15 this year, but it could come next year. Final Fantasy 15 is being worked on for the Switch. That is pretty much a guarantee, at least to me. When it's coming, I don't know. Nier Automata might be possible. It might be happening. Platinum does have goodwill with Nintendo, and so does Square Enix. And since Platinum developed this and not Square Enix, it'll probably be it'll probably come out a little faster than anything Square Enix produces. People talk about GTA 5. I mean, I don't want to say it's gotta be there, but it's gotta be coming soon. I mean, I feel like GTA 5 is definitely a thing, 100%. Because they put it on everything. It's like Minecraft and Skyrim. It's one of those games that they just put on everything. So there's that. Excuse me. And yeah, that's all I can really think of for the time being. There could be new stuff, like they talked about Wave Race and Ridge Racer. That's definitely plausible. They might show off a little bit of My Hero, One's Justice, which was already announced. But, you know. But yeah, aside from that, Kingdom Hearts 3 would be cool, but again, Square Enix. So, excuse me. That's essentially my Nintendo predictions. What I think they'll do at E3. All in all, I'm kind of expecting a big showing for Nintendo, but they're already got Smash Brothers on there, so I mean, how much bigger can you get with that? So, moving on. What about Sony? What'll Sony show for PlayStation? Well, here's what we know. We know that they still have a few more games coming for the PlayStation that are already announced. 2018, though, has been, like late 2017, early 2018 has been their reveals, like when their reveals have been releasing. Their big reveals have been like Spider-Man and Dad of War. Yes, I call it Dad of War, get over it. And Monster Hunter World and Detroit Become Human and Days Gone and Death Stranding, the Uncharted games, all of those. Here's what I think we will absolutely see in Sony's conference. I think we will absolutely see Spyro. I think we'll absolutely see Spider-Man. I think we will absolutely see Days Gone. That's pretty much it, honestly, as to what I think we'll absolutely see. Now, what do I think that we could get? We could probably get another trailer for The Last of Us Part 2, but I firmly believe that's like a 2019 game. I don't think it's coming this year. If it does, I'd be surprised. But yeah, I think it's a game for 2019. So I don't think we'll see Last of Us. Death Stranding is so elusive, I doubt we'll see it even this year at this point. Kingdom Hearts 3, we might get some more information about that. Maybe even a release date. I don't know. There may be another Naughty Dog game in the works, but I doubt it because, you know, they're working on Last of Us 2. So they really wouldn't need to do another Naughty Dog game. What about franchises that haven't had an update in a while? Like, well, I can't say Ratchet and Clank because Ratchet and Clank did have one. But what about like Sly Cooper, Parappa the Rapper, Little Big Planet? games like those. I don't think we'll be looking at another Little Big Planet. I do think that either Parappa the Rapper or the new Sly Cooper game will show up here. I do, now that I think about it, Sly Cooper could come this year. I don't mean like come out, I mean be at E3. But yeah, I do think that Sly Cooper could be shown off at E3 this year. I wouldn't be surprised, actually. Well, I would be surprised, but I think it could happen. Anything else? We could get another Infamous. We could get another Infamous announcement, which I would be totally down for. Sucker Punch has been kind of quiet for a while, I think, haven't they? So, yeah, another Infamous would be awesome. I mean, I'd definitely pick it up. And then beyond that, I think that's all. Oh, I already mentioned Days Gone. Never mind. But yeah, aside from that, yeah, I think that's all I can think of that they would show. At least from what we know. There could be some more like DLC from Horizon. There could be like, well, I don't really know the context of what they could announce. Like, I know they'll talk about Spider-Man, but as to what context of Spider-Man, I don't know. You get the idea. But yeah, that's essentially what we could be looking at from PlayStation. There might be some other things sprinkled in there, but I don't know enough to really name them. Alright, so moving on to Microsoft, I really don't know what they would have at Microsoft. I don't know at all. Like, a lot of their games have been delayed time and again. They just released the Xbox One X, so I doubt they'll have any hardware upgrades or anything lined up. So it's definitely not going to be that. I don't know what else they could have. I guess Crackdown. I guess Crackdown 3. They might show off some more Crackdown 3. But aside from that, they don't really have any other games that they could talk about. Perhaps they'll finally announce the next Fable. Or maybe Rare's working on another game. Aside from that, I mean, it would just be updates of past games like Sea of Thieves or something. Sea of Thieves or Killer Instinct or something. Or some sort of new joint venture with Minecraft or Windows players. So yeah, I have no idea what Microsoft will show. None. I wouldn't mind another Fusion Frenzy, but that series is so old I doubt they'll do anything with it now. Oh well. So, that's pretty much all I can gather for the major players. As you may have noticed, I spend most of the time talking about Nintendo, but again, that's because I'm the most familiar with them out of the big three. I apologize. I'm not a fanboy, I promise, because I did know a bit about Sony. You heard me. I just not Microsoft. Oh well. Anywho, moving on. What about the other players? The other companies that could have things to show? Sega, Capcom, Konami, Activision, EA, all of them. Well, again, I'll start with the one I'm most familiar with, which is Sega. I think we will get a release date, like a reveal and a release date for Valkyria Chronicles 4, which is supposed to be coming to all platforms this year, at least in the US, which is why I think it'll be at E3, because I think it's already out in Japan on all platforms. So yeah, so Valkyria Chronicles, I think we'll get more details on Sega Ages which is the subscription service coming exclusively to the Switch. I think we'll get more information on that. I think we'll get a full reveal of their new Sonic racing game that they teased at South by Southwest. Pretty sure that'll be there as well. And then beyond that, I'm not sure. None of their other games seem to be quite as big. A lot of people are expecting maybe Phantasy Star Online, the new Phantasy Star Online game that's out in Japan, to be localized. I don't think they're doing that. I don't think they will do that, at least not for a while. And it won't be at this E3. So, oh well. So that's all I got from Sega. Capcom, not sure. Not sure at all. Perhaps some more Street Fighter stuff, I don't know. Maybe a new Monster Hunter game they announced for the Switch, since, you know, World did not come out for the Switch. I know it sounds like all my thoughts are going back to the Switch, but that's because the Switch is... That's because everybody treats the Switch as different, I should say. It is different, but regardless of whether I think it's different or not, everyone else does as well, including those developers. That's the point I'm trying to make. But either way, so what else could Capcom have? Well, is Dead Rising Capcom, I believe? I don't know. Oh yes, what am I thinking? Speaking of which, Mega Man 11. We'll get more information about Mega Man 11 at E3. I think that'll be there as well. And then on top of that, on top of Mega Man 11, I think we will get perhaps a tease for another Mega Man game that might be in the works. I don't think we'll get another collection. I think the collections are good for right now, but there could be another Mega Man game in the works. I don't know, that might be asking for too much. I'm not expecting it, but it's possible. Perhaps Street Fighter 6, but I doubt they'd announce that for E3. I don't know. It's one of those things where Japanese developers are less likely to make their big announcements at E3. It's just become that way. I can't really think of anything else right now from Capcom, so I'll move on. Oh wait. Maybe the Resident Evil 2 remake? If I had to guess of anything else? I do think Resident Evil 4 will come to the Switch at some point, but again, talking about the Switch, but the Switch doesn't have it yet, so, you know, whatever. But Resident Evil 2 remake for all platforms might come later on. Will it come for Switch? Probably not. Probably PS4 and Xbox One and PC, if I had to guess. But yeah, maybe that. And that's all I got for Capcom. Konami, I mean, Konami's not going to show up anyway, so I ain't worried about it. Kojima, again, if they have Death Stranding, they'll have Kojima. That's the extent of it. So then, what's next? Activision. Full reveal of Black Ops 4. And probably some more update notes for... what's it called? For like a new update or season or something for Overwatch. If I had to guess, anything from Activision Blizzard. Oh, there's been that rumor floating around that Diablo 3 is coming to Switch, so they might elaborate a little bit on that. But yeah, other than that, Black Ops 4, the Battle Royale full reveal and whatnot, we'll do that. EA, I mean, EA is just going to talk about their EA stuff. They're going to talk about their sports games coming and whatnot, their FIFA, all of it. FIFA and Madden. Excuse me. Other than that, I mean, maybe A Way Out is already out, I believe. Yeah, A Way Out's already out, so they're probably not talking about that. Yeah, I don't know what else they would talk about because I don't know what other games they have. Alright. And then beyond that, I can't think of anything else. So I guess that wraps it up. That's my predictions on what will be shown off at E3. All in all, I'm expecting a pretty decent showing. But I am of the firm belief that the hype around E3 is beginning to die out. Well, maybe not the hype around it, but the company's focus on it is beginning to die out. So we're not seeing a lot more like big announcements like we have before. But all in all, that's my thoughts on what could come from E3. So, with that, this has been the first episode of EVG Speaks. And if you stuck around to listen to my ramblings the whole time, I sincerely thank you for listening. I thank you for hearing my thoughts, and I'd like to know yours. So please post in the comments, what do you think we will see at E3? From anyone, really. Be it if you are expecting something from Nintendo, or Sony, or Microsoft, or any of them. So just let me know. Okay? Alright guys, well thank you so much for listening. Once again, if you enjoyed, please leave a like, it helps out. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you want to see more. And once again, leaving likes, the more likes a video segment gets in these random Mondays, the better chance it has of getting its own slot during the week. So vote with your likes if you want EVG Speaks to get its own weekly spot. Alright, well thank you guys so much for listening. I appreciate you, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.